Ladies and gentlemen, Lotus have come to India. This is the Lotus Emira first edition. Before we get into the cabin, there are a few things you must know about the Emira. The chassis, for example, it uses the famous Lotus aluminium bonded deck that debuted in the Elise, but the dimensions are all new, so the chassis is entirely new for the Emira. And although it may look very compact, this car is actually more than 4 meters long. It uses eye-box springs and Bilstein dampers, but no electronic adjustment whatever to the suspension. Because when you book the car, you have to choose one of two suspension settings. You can either have it in the Tour configuration, which is ideal for daily use on the road and normal regular use. Otherwise, you can have the more focused, the extreme sports setting, which is what this car has right now. And it's also running the special Michelin tires. Lotus take pride in not using any form of active aerodynamics in this car. So all the cuts, creases and scoops that you see are all part of passive aerodynamic elements, and they generate enough downforce to keep the car planted as it goes faster and faster. It runs on 20-inch wheels at both ends, but this tire is a little bit thinner than the one at the back. It's 245 at the front and 295 at the rear. The Emira that we are driving is the first edition 4-cylinder model, and it's nothing to be scoffed at. The M139 AMG engine in this car does not produce its full potential, but produces an extremely violent and usable 366 horsepower with 430 Newton meters of torque. And that gives this car the ability to go from 0 to 100 kilometers in 4.4 seconds. And here are the things that we like about the engine. First of all, Lotus have worked on the intake and exhaust systems as well. The turbo whistle is extremely nice at above 4000 RPM. Very good soundtrack to listen to. It is accompanied by a very polished roar from the exhaust, and that makes for very engaging, very spirited driving, where the driver feels happy and looks forward to each mile that rolls along as you drive the Emira. The things that we don't like include the DCT, which is very quick in automatic mode, but if you try to use the paddle shifters, it does not have that click or that, the tactile feel that should accompany sports cars. It's not dramatic enough, but in terms of how it works flawlessly. The shifts are instant, and the soundtrack that accompanies it is music to my ears. This car revs to a lofty 7,200 RPM, mid-engined, aluminium chassis, aluminium engine, and all the power sent to the rear wheels. That is the perfect sports car formula. But more than the powertrain, more than the acceleration, what we appreciate about the Emira is the handling. Now, this car with the Tour suspension package is what you should buy if you want to use it every day. But if you want to have fun on the track or some nice, exquisitely maintained road like this one, then the Sport is the one that you should have. And when the car turns, it feels like I am turning with the car from my hips, and that is a feeling that cannot be described. It's something that you should feel at least once in your lifetime. The Emira is a British sports car with a German engine and a DCT, so it's going to be very good to drive, but it is also very flexible. I was able to do 100 kilometers an hour in 8th gear at less than 2000 RPM. There it is, we are all set. 0 to 100 and back to 0 in the Lotus Emira. Here we go. It's a little bit of turbo lag, second, third, and we're already at 100. Now braking. Very good acceleration, extremely potent braking. The Lotus Emira can be had with a choice of two engines, one from Germany or one from Japan, but it's not the powertrain that makes one addicted to the Emira, it is the way it handles. When you turn the steering wheel, the car does not turn in front of you, it turns with you, at the hip. So the sense of drama, the sense of excitement, thrill and oneness with the car, that is what will help the Emira sell. And in terms of selling, if you want one of these, a proper British sports car with a German or Japanese engine, then you have to be ready to shell out a minimum of rupees 3.2 crore. And what you get for that money is a proper mid-engine sports car, rear-wheel drive, the perfect stepping stone to appreciate supercars later on in life. So that is it. That is all we have to say today after driving the Emira. If you have anything to tell us about the Emira, do let us know in the comments. This is Joshua Verghese signing off for Car Envy.